What does $250 million buy you? A pretty nice home, maybe a very successful business, or in some people's cases, well, a bail bond from court. That's right, we're going to be talking about SBF, $250 million bail bond right now. And why has he been allowed? How do you even secure that sort of money for a guy that's got nothing? We're going to get into all of that in this video, and in particular, what is going on with the love of his life, Caroline Ellison. What has she said, and who is she working with? So be sure to subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. Let's get into it. So we know SBF, he flew back to the US to face criminal charges and was to be appearing in court later on today, 22nd of December. It says here, the plane carrying a notorious founder of crypto exchange FTX, I love how they now call him notorious, Sam Bankman-Fried, had reportedly touched down in the United States. This was at 11:22 a.m. this morning. A recent coverage revealed that Bankman-Fried has already landed in the States, escorted by federal agents. Like, this is a pretty big deal. Like, they are really treating him as if he's some sort of mass murderer, but they're really, as if he can kind of go and commit any more fraud right now. The US authorities have accused a 30-year-old American of being the main culprit behind the gigantic failure of FTX and the subsequent multi-billion investor loss. And this is the problem, the amount of money that is at question. He's about to face multiple charges, including conspiracy, securities fraud, and money laundering, and could be slammed with a 115-year prison sentence. The important word here is conspiracy. This means that this was premeditated, that it was deliberate, and it means there were other people involved. It says the Bahamian police detained SBF after the FTX collapse in his house on the island and sent him to a local correction facility, Fox Hill, earlier this month. However, he signed his extradition papers after 1 week stay there. Check that video out. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go and have a look at exactly what was going on with that. But ultimately flying back to the US. Now, what did we then get on the back of it? Well, Sam Bankman-Fried's former friends pleaded guilty. They are going to absolutely throw him under the bus for this and are cooperating in the FTX. It's absolutely insane to me that you have Caroline Ellison, Gary Wang, two of the big executives, the CEO in this case, have just absolutely thrown Sam Bankman-Fried to the lions in this case. The article says Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang, two executives in Sam Bankman-Fried's fallen crypto empire, have pleaded guilty to federal charges and are cooperating with prosecutors. The news was announced late Wednesday by Damian Williams, the U.S. attorney for Southern District of New York. He didn't specify the charges, but the two but said the guilty pleas were related to their roles as insiders at FTX and its sister company Alameda Research. Remember, Sam Bankman-Fried set both of those companies up. It says Ellison served as CEO of Bankman-Fried's trading company Alameda. Ellison pleaded guilty on 7 counts, according to the Washington Post. She faced up to 110 years in prison. But Wang pleaded guilty to 4 counts and faces up to 50 years in prison. So absolutely crazy. Talks a little bit about what it actually does, but here's a couple of interesting points. The US Securities and Exchange Commission and Commodities Futures Trading Commission have already filed updated civil suits, now including details of Wang and Ellison's roles. Wang, with Ellison's knowledge and consent, exempted Alameda from the risk mitigation measures FTX used, i.e. it just got to do what it wanted, providing Alameda Research with virtually unlimited line of credit. We saw Caroline's amazing trading platform, $1.31 billion in a negative balance. Fair play to her, but it's all fine. It's all fine. Just throw Sam Bankman-Fried to the lions. The SEC complaint outlines how Bankman-Fried and Wang thus gave Alameda and Ellison carte blanche to use FTX customer assets. That's the big problem here. Also, the Senate statement of USA Damian Williams does go on to say, as part of their deception, we allege that Caroline Ellison and Sam Bankman-Fried schemed to manipulate the price of FTT. Now, interestingly, FTT, currently $1, is up 22.7%. We love a degen play in this ecosystem, don't we? Up 22% on the day. This is never coming back. FTT is never going to be a thing. But do you know what? Some people are prepared to try and make some money. It said it built upon a wall of house at SEC Gary Gensler. You wait. Gary Gensler is going to be in court as well. I'm pretty sure of that. Just wait and see what happens. But absolutely crazy to see in terms of that. And again, the fact that Caroline Ellison is prepared to work with the US government, as well as a number of other parts, I think is very interesting, very telling. And ultimately, this isn't over yet, and it's not over for the wider crypto market. It's not over for FTX. There's going to be so much more come out of this. And as much as Gary Gensler might be on his pedestal right now, I think something may well be coming his way. Now, the part of the video at the start, I talked about how do you get $250 million to basically get yourself out of prison. Well, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried released on $250 million bond. Why? They've secured it against his parents' house. What does that tell you? There's money everywhere with this. His parents are involved with it. I know a lot of people have speculated about it, but ultimately it says that Judge Gabriel Gorenstein agreed to release the 30-year-old on what government lawyers said the largest ever pre-trial bond secured against the home of his parents in California, where he will be confined. Two other individuals have yet to be named, one of whom cannot be a family member, will also be required to secure the bond. So $250 million house, his parents sticking up the cost there to allow Sam Bankman-Fried to get out there. They clearly think he is a risk. They clearly think he potentially is a flight risk, that he will leave the country. But ultimately, he is absolutely making sure that he is not. You can see here, look, Bankman-Fried, who appeared in court in leg cuffs wearing a dark suit and tie, will also be fitted with a location tracking bracelet and has already forfeited his passport. He will be restricted to his parents' home and the District of Northern California and allowed to go outdoors for monitored exercise. He will also be allowed to see a therapist. Absolutely crazy. Yes, there is a gigantic amount of money attached to this. I get that. But there's clearly more to this that they feel is a risk. The fact that they're going to keep him in-house, the fact they're going to put him in leg cuffs, the fact they're going to track him, clearly says to me there is a significant flight risk. And I guess they set the bail bond at such a ridiculous amount, and for his parents to secure it against his home tells me there is more money somewhere. There is more things to come after with this. This is going to get messy. It's going to get interesting. A lot of conspiracies flying out. Drop in the comments your conspiracies that you've heard. A lot of people saying that this could bring about the end of cryptocurrency. It was all deliberate. Caroline Ellison, even a mole in the FTX saga. Who knows? Pretty crazy all in this. But lots to talk about. But ultimately, SBF probably going to go to prison for a long time. Caroline Ellison doing whatever she can to not go to prison, and likewise Wang as well doing everything he can. Who knows what is going to happen? Who knows what is going to come out? But what we will know is we're going to keep you up to date with everything as we can and we hear it. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and let me know about those conspiracies in the comments down below. I'll be dead interested to read all of them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.